que funda pa' gastar. Esta noche tú y yo nos vivimos la película. Luce cámara, la acción después en mi recámara. En el duelo no se sabe quién ganará. So baile, baby, ese seguro y retrocede. Que me encanta la manera en que tú lo mueves.
Solo pégate un poquito, mami, que yo quiero enseñarte lo que yo tengo para ti. Lo que tengo para ti. Sé que te va a encantar como meto yo.
What is going on, Cowboy Nation? Welcome back to Primetime Studios. Like always, I'm your host, Primetime Phil. I had to think about that for a second there. And like always, my host, Gametime Bryan. Gametime, welcome back, and welcome back, man. How's it going this week?
Back. What's up, Phil? How are you, brother? How are you, man?
Doing well, man. Each time we have a broadcast, it's 1 week closer to us in that trip. Don't know what type of trick it's going to be in the end, but I know I'm excited about the overall experience and getting to meet a lot of these people as well too. So, but here we are, man. We're closer and closer, inching away from the beginning of the season, getting closer to the middle of the season, and we're deep in there, man. We're already week 6 of the NFL season. How are you feeling about the Cowboys in general? You know, injuries, of course, aside.
Well,
how are you feeling about the state of the franchise?
Well, I'm right where, not, maybe the directions that I had were a little off, but I'm right where I thought we would be going into the year. I had us at 3-2. I had us losing to Detroit with a revenge game. Listen, we'll break it down. But it's right where I thought we would be, and quite frankly, I think it's better than I expected based on injuries that we have. We are decimated, people. Mm-hmm. I want everybody to realize we've lost our top 4 defensive ends. We've lost our number 2 wide receiver. We have lost a lot of pieces. We've lost defensive linemen, yet we still are where I thought we would be. So I think in the long run, this could be a help. Yeah. We've only lost one guy for the year, and that happened in the preseason. Early. Yeah. Knock on wood, we don't suffer anything major, but going forward, especially this game, because I don't know about you, it seems like Dallas has bad luck going into the bye and coming out of the bye with injuries. Like, we'll get a win against the team, but then we'll lose somebody. All due respect, who else do we have to lose?
I'm going to say the past couple of years, I think the past couple of years they've done a really good job of staying healthy, where that wasn't the case before with the Cowboys. So this one's kind of the role reversal where they, bam, right off the bat, injuries, man. And they're not like, oh, well, our third stringer went down, man. No, these are starters, and it's a big group of them. Oh, your other edge, your corner, your linebacker, so you just pile them up. And there's been a lot of significant time lost, especially on the defensive side. Even last week when we saw Pittsburgh and a team where we're like, okay, we're going in here already hobbling, and then we saw Guyton go down, and then we saw Nealon go down. It's just these were really quick things that happen, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you've already had so many injuries on your team. It can continue to pile up. I think it's kind of weird that the NFL right now is suffering a lot. I think if you play fantasy football, you see that a lot. You're constantly having to try to jump in there, trying to figure out who that next person is up. Now who's the 4th stringer? Oh, Cam Akers is playing for this team, and I didn't know this. They signed here, and so you figure out a little bit more. It's just these are normally the moves you make later on in the year, but these are happening very early. So guys, I think that didn't get signed in the off season. Maybe you're going to see a little bit more rotation here with those type of guys as well, because of all these people that are going down. But going in there, out of this Pittsburgh game, how did you like seeing those backups to those starters come in and play?
Wonderfully. I thought, all due respect to Tyler Guyton, and he will get better, people. Again, I point out guys like Bobby Belt who do this 24/7. They don't have day jobs. Their day job is studying the Dallas Cowboys, the NFL. And he says he's struggling now, but he thinks he's a Pro Bowler as well as other people in 3 years from now. So I would tell you that when Guyton went down, we improved, which is big. So I would like to keep Guyton in uniform.
Well, when I When I look at that
would like
Tyrone
to
Smith
start
year,
Tyler.
when I look at
Yes.
that Tyrone Smith rookie year, I mean, it wasn't.
Tyron, yes.
Yeah, it wasn't all that. It wasn't great. I mean, yeah, he went in there, did great, but it wasn't an all-pro type of situation. And so, now you look at that whole decade that he was there, and I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but I do like it's a lot more positive than it is negative. And that's what we were talking about. We're like, if he ends up winning 30 snaps and then he gives up 5 to 6 of them, did he lose or did he win? And so that's that percentage is there. It's like 1 out of 7, he's doing. So, I mean, if you look at other offensive lines, Steele, that's our other struggle right now. So our tackles are kind of our struggles on offense.
Yes, it is.
But it's not. It's
Love
not
the skyline. Skyline.
Thank you. It's not gaping a hole in our offense like we had. Yeah,
Pause.
sorry. Yeah,
It's a big pause right there.
Huge.
Oh, shit.
But no, and one thing I have to say positively is the middle of our offensive line. I love the fact that, yes, unfortunately Guyton went down, but Tyler Smith slid out. Yet TJ Bass come in, another strong candidate within the inside that when Zach Martin moves on, that's your guy. That's the guy that's going to go in there and replace it. I loved watching him and Cooper Beebe. Man, that was a heck of a combination. They were just really taking it to the Steelers' defensive line, and that's something big because that Steelers defensive line is not is above subpar. Let's just say that. And I know when you look at the rankings, they definitely have a higher ranking than subpar.
I'm still looking at your skyline. So
yeah, you like that? You like that? Yeah, that was a Phil
that's
Mora
the
thing.
problem. When you do shit that nice, I don't pay attention to what you're saying. But no. But yeah, yeah.
I was gonna put like little things in there, decorate. I'm like, no, man. I think it's gonna take it away. Man. I think it's just gonna take it away. I don't want to do that.
That's awesome, dude.
Thank you. I
mean, it ain't like what I do. Like I'll just do like a picture in the background. Oh God! But anyway, don't mind that.
Don't look behind the don't look behind the curtain. Thank you, Chris.
I think the most impressive thing is what Cooper Beebe is doing, and I had mentioned this earlier. And
it's not perfect either. It's not perfect. I've seen guys beat him, and
But people need to understand what
it's the NFL. It's the NFL.
He hasn't snapped a football since high school. Mm-hmm. And we were sold a little bit of bill of goods coming out, right? Oh, well, he's been working on it. Yeah, he's been working on it with his mother in his backyard, I guess.
Well, I think it's really funny. Me and you, as a Cowboy content creator, you saw that he was going to be the center. The coaches, he's a future thing, no thing. We like our guy, Brock Hoffman. And we're all like, come on, man. Don't bullshit a bullshitter. Don't bullshit a bullshitter. Come on, man.
Well, I know, and I can bullshit with the best of them. But, yeah, I kind of figured. I'm glad it worked out the way it did because I don't know about you. Brock Hoffman, I saw him come in last week a little bit.
Oh, he had attitude.
When Zach had to go get a IV bag for his cramps. I love Brock Hoffman. I want him to have a spot on his team as that swing whatever guard, basically. He is a beast. What's up, Jeff Lee? He's a beast. But you get back to Cooper Beebe, what he's doing is unbelievable, and it just shows you what we were talking about regarding the pocket. Any pressure that's getting on Dak is coming from the edges. It's not coming up the middle. No. It's just not. It's not, people, and that's a huge thing.
That's a big difference between the past 4 or 5 years. Tyler Bionis.
Yes. You saw the running game start to emerge, and that's because Zach Martin, who's now playing at a Pro Bowl level after kind of a slow start for Zach. But again, let's give him a little bit of a pass. He don't play any snaps in the preseason. And then you got Tyler Smith, who arguably is the best left guard in football. I'm sorry, that's just a fact. You could hate it. You could call me a homer.
If I put
Tyler Smith is the real deal.
If I put on his resume, I wouldn't put left guard. I wouldn't put left tackle. I just put left offensive line. That's all I would put on his resume because that's what he covers. You can put your tackle, you can put your guard. It doesn't matter where you're putting him. He plays at all pro level. I mean, you think of. I think all of a sudden the protection got actually better for Dak when Tyler Smith did go out there. Unfortunately, it's a poke at Guyton, but that doesn't mean I don't want to stick Guyton right back out there and get it going again. And then I'm not afraid of that. You got to be afraid of the growing pains unless you got a plan to stick him somewhere else. You can't just mess with the growth right now just because of an injury or play or anything. So
yeah. And I got to give Dallas credit. They're not forcing anything right now. You would have thought that they would have put Bland in. Bland's already been rolled out for tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw that.
Very, very surprising to me. Disappointing. Kind of a gut punch when Daniel M put it in my lunchtime chat. I'm like, dude, really? I was so excited to see Bland, but again,
best not rush
to
him.
The team, man.
Yeah.
I defer to them, and that's all I can really say. I mean, we are decimated.
Thank you, Jeff Lee.
If we win tomorrow, Phil. If we beat the Lions team who is laying in, he's home resting up, watching film, laying in wait.
Can I point something out?
If we beat them, dude, come on.
Can I point something out though? If we beat them, because you have to imagine that means the defense played well. That means the defense did well. Does that mean when the starters come back, they don't get their jobs back? Because then that means that the defensive guys are actually doing a better job than they were doing? Because, come on, people were just not doing their assignments when these stars were here.
Well, that's what it comes down to. Everybody, again, I don't want to start out a season with excuses. Kind of like what we were talking about last year. Like Eagles fans were talking about, and 2 years ago when the Twiz goes, don't use an excuse with the new offense, or like last year with Kellen Moore being gone and going with the new offense, so we said it would start out slow, and I was hearing, wow, that's kind of an excuse.
Oh, come on, Ultra.
Last year,
really, Ultra, get out of here with that.
Cowboys went 4-1 without Dak, and
he got his job. That's not the same. I had to say
bang.
That wasn't.
That's a bang bang.
That wasn't Dak playing shitty right before he went out as well too. That was the defense, actually, look last week, man. I'm not saying it was, George Pickens. I'm not poking that he's an all-star or anything like that. But and we knew the passing game wasn't gonna be all that. But it was still a really good offense that was scoring. Najee Harris was having.
Post, man.
I'm
talking you personally.
Yeah, I have the Najee Harris on my fantasy. Yeah, I have him on my fantasy. He was blowing it up.
We're going up against the number one run defense against our Cowboys, and all we kept hearing was, "Oh my God, Justin Fields finally is having good coaching. Watch out!" And what do? We did our job. That's what we did. It's a road win in the NFL, which, by the way, against the Pittsburgh Steelers is not easy. So I'll put that in my back pocket.
That's the truth right there.
Defense carried and Rush had no turnovers.
That defense looked amazing then, man. It was very elite at that point.
If you remember, though, Rush in that Philly game, I think if he could offer a little more
like 3 turnovers. Well, he didn't have
athleticism, we win that game.
I thought he had
it was close. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I thought he had a couple of turnovers in that game as well.
Rush did have a turnover against Philly. That's what I'm saying. I think we, in that game, remember, we were within a field goal with like 5 or 6 minutes to go, and then they went down the field. They ran it right down our throats and scored, and I think they won by 10, I believe.
Yeah.
But, Najee Harris was better Alabama when he went to the pros. Najee Harris is a good running back. It's funny. I told Phil this time last week going into the game that the locals are basically saying Najee, they don't like him because he don't have the breakaway. Kind of like what we say about Zeke. Not quite as bad, but that's basically what the Steelers fans aren't big fans of Najee, but he's a tough runner. What's up, Twiz? Long time, brother. What's Coyote say? Ultra, if the defense can play run D as of late, I will take that. Just no more Saints games. No more Saints games and or Ravens games.
Well, it changes the whole game. I mean, you're not keeping the offense off the field. You're getting into more longer third downs. You saw it. They were just a lot more manageable of a game last week because they were able to manage that run game. And again, that's one thing I said about the Steelers that they could do is run the ball. So for you to almost eliminate that whole side of the ball, that to me was amazing, just because that's their whole offense. Fields, once he starts getting uncomfortable, that's what he does. I say uncomfortable, but as soon as he starts the game, he starts running around. So let's be real. So the fact that you could take that away from him with linebackers that we were, sometimes they were questioning. We love Overshown. But some of that depth, we talked about Damone Clark and everything. He's kind of silently been back there, but I think he'll make a pop all of a sudden. That you'll hear all of a sudden he'll come back out. People are going to go, "Oh, why isn't he starting? Why isn't they'll get ramped up about him again." But you're right. If the defense can keep us in the game, I mean, man, the sky's the limit basically. But if this offense can get going and the defense stays, by this point you might as well say the sky is not the limits, because there's footprints on the moon. So keep going beyond that, and let's push this team, and because the special teams shows that it can be there, it can be a factor with Turpin, with Audrey. So if you can add a high power offense compared to a defense that can do what we're saying they're doing, I think that's a hell of a winning combination. Is just what worries me is that we're not doing it with the starters, and so when those starters come back, will they have that same gel?
Definitely some growing pains. I think the bye week probably came a week too short.
I would agree. This would have been perfect
I
week.
think this week would have been a perfect week for the bye week. That being said, everybody's getting really carried away with what Washington is doing, and that's great, man. They're playing great. But what's up, Tim? How are you, brother? I think that we'll see what Washington's made up tomorrow. If they go into Baltimore and win, then I think we all may be playing for second place, and that's just fact based on their schedule and whatever. But again, we said it. It's a long season. I just like where we're sitting, Phil. I like the fact that we have injuries, which is not a good thing, but I also like that we're relying on a lot of young players. By the end of the year, you would assume that would pay dividends, right? Jalen Brooks, Jalen Tolbert. Yeah. You could say whatever you want, but Rico Dowdle hasn't done it for an extended period of time. Cooper Beebe, Tyler Guyton. It goes on and on. Brevin Spanford. It just goes on and on. Not to mention our new defensive pieces. Yeah. So that should pay dividends, people. Just know that they're doing it the right way. Sometimes we get frustrated and we want that player. And I have a juicy rumor that we'll get to later, but
when it comes to Washington,
something.
When we talked about it, do you care about winning this division this year?
No, I do not.
No. So I don't care. Give it to Washington. I don't care. You know why I say give it to Washington? Because they just spent a lot on free agency. This is their team for a little bit of time. There's going to be some stuff that opens up, but this is their team. They might have some stuff that opens up in the sense of contracts coming off the board, but it's not a lot. They didn't have a huge contracts on those boards, so this is a lot of their team. So if they don't get as great draft picks, because, I'm okay with that. We talked about this 2 years ago when I was talking about the Giants. Go ahead, be successful. That's okay, because at some point your free agency is what's going to have to be the difference maker. And I do like some of the guys that Dan Quinn always brought in, but I mean, it only goes so far. Again, did you like all? They did somewhat of a good job this offseason. I mean, I liked what they did in the draft a little bit more, but I feel like that's going to stunt their growth. When it comes to us and the Eagles, again, we're right there kind of in the same boat, unfortunately, where we're right now, we're dealing with injuries. The depth of these rosters.
Nobody's dealing with what we're dealing with.
No.
Sorry to tell
not
you.
with the starters, but your main guy is leased out. You got two wide receivers that are out.
No injuries on their defense, and I'm not trying to. Listen. I'm not here to crap on any Eagle fan. No disrespect, bro. Really not.
But when everybody's healthy, it's a different team, as well.
But
I mean,
the Eagles have no injuries on their defense. Really. Nothing. There's nobody that's coming back that's like, oh my God. No, your guys are here, and it's not a good defense. Now we'll see what Cooper DeJean can do.
It's kind of like saying that about our offense. That our offense can be better.
Well, Eagles offense, yes. Eagles offense is incredible. Dallas's offense.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I think it's better.
We don't have hardly any injuries, and is that what it is? It isn't. No, man. Our offense, it doesn't hardly have any injuries, but itself that they can be better than what they are.
Brandon Cooks is not right with his knee. But it's a blessing. It's a blessing because I've been saying, what have we been saying? And I'm fending off people left and right in the chat saying we need to go out and trade for a wide receiver. We do not need to trade for a wide receiver, especially a 32-year-old Davante Adams. I don't know what people are thinking. Okay, are we a Super Bowl team this year? Okay, we could catch lightning in a bottle and go, especially in the NFC. But you can't sit here and say we're a Davante Adams away.
No.
Let's see what we got with the Jalen's. Let's get Kevontae Turpin more involved like he was last week. By the way, he had a hell of a game. So I love what we're doing.
Ultra
Have
Cowboy,
I not said that, Phil?
Yeah, I'm with that at the offseason. Yeah, just let Cooks go. I was all about keeping Cooks because I thought he definitely brought another element to this offense. He just hasn't been able to be Brandon Cooks. Let's be real. I feel like it's more our offense holding Cooks back than it is that Cooks is holding our offense.
Our ass in Cleveland week 1.
Well, I mean, we got him doing these routes that doesn't make sense for Brandon Cooks. So it's like, to me, that's what it is.
Now we're starting to realize, though, Phil, maybe why. Maybe he banged up his knee in the preseason, and maybe they knew that. And they were like, well, okay, we're not going to roll with Tolbert, which, I'm just happy of where this team is going. I'm not the biggest Rico Dowdle fan. I'm going to say it every week. I think he's a good back to me. And, I don't know if this is too hard on the kid. He's Felix Jones without the explosiveness. I don't know. Well, who's the guy that we drafted from the University of Notre Dame, that running back?
Nathaniel
I can't think of his.
No.
No, I'm talking
years
way back. Number 21. I forget his name, but basically, Rico is just a placeholder. I like him. He's decent, but he's never stayed healthy.
Oh, man.
Rico's never stayed healthy.
Running back.
Julius Jones, bang. Vinny Hagan, shout out.
What's that from?
Happy birthday, Vinny
I thought he was
Hagan.
from Arkansas.
Now, Julius Jones, no. Felix Jones was from Arkansas.
That's right.
Julius Jones was from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I loved them both, but to me, he's like a Julius Jones.
You know who I didn't like that was pretty good later on, and I got respect for him? Randall. Julius Randle.
He was a loopy dude.
Yeah, I was like, I don't like him, but then he would really play good. And I was like, I want to like him, but it's just something there. It's just really weird. Yeah, Felix Jones was a Razorback. That's why I was like, I remember him.
I liked Felix Jones.
Felix Jones was hilarious because I would always see him and see like an old Dave Chappelle. Like I was like, man, that guy looks old for a rookie.
He had an old face for a young guy. Yeah.
Got that old.
But I mean, that's who Rico
Dowdle
Dowdle is to me. He's not. He never stays healthy. He's got burst. I'm not gonna lie. He's probably the most explosive guy we got. Maybe I guess. But again, just. Relax. Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
He stole underwear or something.
Oh, is that what it is? I was like, I don't even know what that means. Or something. I was like, I don't even know what that means, but like.
Ultra says our running back in 2025 right now is a Buckeye. Bang.
He's a Boise State. Yeah, that's what he is.
Oh, I'll take any
young
guy.
I saw a post, and we remember
my son wants the Boise State kid. I'm like,
remember the Boise State running back that we were talking about? When he stands in the backfield, somebody was like, "Man, when he stands in the backfield, he stands like Michael Myers." He was like, he just
yes,
I was laughing
definitely
so hard.
I even hear the music, But I know I brought up some names that maybe scare people. Yeah, I know, Ultra. I said I don't want him at top 10. AJ, my son AJ is like, yeah, I want Genty. I'm like, yeah, you get in line. I ain't taking him top 10. But I don't know. Maybe it's me. Oh, look at sorry, Phil. Ohio State. 7-6.
Yeah, look like
What a game we got going on right now.
Well, Oregon missed the field goal, and they're about to score a touchdown right here.
Now, what did they do? I missed it. Did they miss the extra point?
They missed the extra point. They missed the field goal as well. So, I mean, that kicker is struggling. That's not good going into this game.
I'm surprised you don't have your jersey on that I got you.
No. This is a Cowboys broadcast. I can't be.
Come on now. Phil, I can't say it. Phil, say. Anyway, I want Henderson or Judkins in the second or third round. Hey, Ultra, I'm down with that.
I would be really good with that. I'd be really good with that. There's some stars. There's some special stars that are not quarterback. I don't see quarterback as that class this year. when you look at running backs, wide receivers, oh my gosh, this is the class to definitely get that. I see some defensive backs are going to be out there. I love this the speed when it's going to come to this when it comes to this upcoming draft.
I feel like if you're watching the game, I think the Ohio State coach is wearing makeup.
Dude, Ohio State's coaches, he dyes his hair. Like, he dyes it so
look
dark.
At his cheeks.
He dyes it so dark, and it looks bad. You're like, dude, come on, man. You got to make it look a little bit more presentable.
That's ridiculous, man. He's the kind of guy that sweats and it runs on his shirts.
Yeah.
He's like his shirt collars.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, let's. Hey, Vinny Hagen, happy birthday.
Hey, Loyal. Hey, remember I had a.
We're gonna circle back, baby.
Remember I had a little sound clip? Here's your go, Loyal.
Thank you very much, sir. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Oi, this is a private members bar. Exclusively for the supporters of the greatest football team in the world. Now, please, enlighten me. Who the fuck are you?
That is a good question. And Scotty?
We're the fan club from Ohio.
These hoes ain't loyal.
Damn right. There you go. There's your long little sound clip for you, man. It says the Ohio. I'm the fan club from Ohio.
Ohio.
But no, man. Good football this weekend. Even in college, man, there was some interesting games where I thought they were going to be closer, and then by the end of it, it kind of got out of hand. Do you want to go through some of these games, and then we'll come back around and talk a little bit more about this matchup?
Yeah. So what do you want to do? You want to do the games?
I like when you do. Okay. I like when you present them a little bit more. So you got that. You got that presentation a little bit. You know.
Alrighty then. Let me grab the games.
We call it in our industry when you get on the microphone, the voice of God is what they.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, starting with God, we're gonna go with tomorrow morning's game. Yes, tomorrow morning. I forgot.
Tomorrow
yet again.
Morning.
9:30 in the morning. We have the. I believe it's in London. Are we
the
still
London
in London?
Jaguars? The London Jaguars?
Yeah, the London Jaguars.
Because that seems to be the one that goes over there the most. They probably get more support over there, too. Let's be real.
They're the away team, people. Just to let you know, the London Jags are the away team. So
Chicago.
They're playing the Chicago Bears.
Chicago.
So what do you think about that, man? Like, what do you say? I mean, I could give you the.
I like the fact
line
that
if you want.
Go ahead, give me the line. You got 82% of the people.
The Bears are +1.
Oh, yeah, even they don't know. They don't even know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Jacksonville.
I feel give them a point.
I feel like Jacksonville is a little bit now getting on that roll. Trevor Lawrence looked pretty good last week.
Hold up.
They could go back for it.
Lion King. Go ahead.
Can you establish a run against us? I don't know, man. Can we establish anything against anybody?
Thanks
That's
for stopping
we can
by,
establish that. Can we stop the run? Can we stop the pass? It's going to be on their defense.
Just a bomb, dude.
I'm a little bit behind. Here we go. Yes. Oh, yeah. There we go. He's still going down the sideline. Nice.
What's up, Clemente? I'm sorry.
No. You got me all distracted
Lion
and everything.
King,
but I would.
Bye, bro.
I would have to definitely go against. I would have to go with Jacksonville. I feel like they're on a little bit of hot streak, and I feel like they can score almost any point that they go on the field. They stop themselves. Where Chicago, I feel like it's the opposite. When they score, it's been like, hey, look at that! The blind squirrel found the nut. You know, it's just that's how I kind of feel more about their offense. So I love Swift. If I was to take any running back, I would trade Chicago and get Swift on this team. And if you're going to go that way,
I would love Swift.
So, but anyway, I go Jacksonville.
Yes, I agree. This the public is wrong in this one. If you're looking at me and Phil are looking at,
82% think
Chicago.
The
pigs. Yeah, everybody doesn't realize that it's not in Chicago. It's in London, which Jacksonville has played every year for. I believe they're 2-0 or something like that. At least I Love Weed says that, and I trust them because I Love Weed is also a degenerate gambler. Pause. But yes, give me the Jags. You finally got their first win. I think that you're going across the pond, as they say, for a young quarterback and all that. Give me the Jaguars. They're used to doing it. So let's do it. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Jags win the game outright. It's going to be a close game.
I think it could
be. Yeah.
It could go either way. I mean, you could have Caleb Williams go over there and go, hey, nobody knows that I suck. This might actually be a good opportunity for me to shine. So we'll see. Which I think again, I got to give him credit in the sense that Chicago's line sucks. Let's be real, man. Their offensive line is not good. And so almost immediately he's running for his life, or he's trying to have to figure out. He just got to study more film to figure out what that wide receiver is doing so he can just get the ball out, yes. I think that's the key to their success. If you can get the ball out fast for Chicago, I think they definitely have a chance to score more. But I've not seen enough scoring for them to think that they're going to take this game. But again, their defense is pretty good, man. The defense scores touchdowns too. The next game,
Lion King. Our offense is a juggernaut, as y'all will see. It's going to be a shootout. Lion King. I don't know if you're familiar with me and Phil. We were at the draft in Detroit. We had a wonderful time. Thanks for your city was on its best behavior for the days we were there. If you know anything about our channel, Lion
we give you
King,
guys a lot of credit.
We keep it real, and please stay till the end as we go into the mailbox. And we give you, Phil will give you his prediction, and I will give you my prediction. You might like it, so I'll just say that. But moving on to the next matchup, we go to the 1:00 games. We got the Arizona Cardinals, the 2-3 Arizona Cardinals visiting the 3-2 Green Bay Packers. Just real quick, Phil, before you make your pick. The Green Bay Packers are a 5.5-point favorite at home against the Cardinals.
I got to go Green Bay in this pick. I feel like even with Green Bay, even when they're not playing great. They're talking about Love like, he's not playing great football. He's doing this, he's doing that. They're still scoring points. Their defense is still doing really well for a supposed team that doesn't have it together. That's a little scary. So when I look at Arizona's always the Cinderella story that seems to disappoint people a lot. Mark Hudson, good evening, Primetime, Gametime. Another victim falls to the Longhorns.
Hook 'em horns there, buddy. Hook 'em.
But when I look at this matchup, I mean, I got to go Green Bay until they kind of get enough injuries. I don't know what's going to kind of stop them. They're kind of getting their own way, I think, if anything. A very good team, a very young team, and so quietly built together. So now that they got some of that stuff off their roster, dead money, they're going to be building a little bit stronger. I think that's a little bit scarier as well, too. But I got to go Green Bay in this matchup unless somehow Arizona's defense really just turns it on.
Yeah, and I've been big on Arizona. I think they're better than their 2-3 record. I do. They blew it in Buffalo. They shit the bed at home against Washington.
Nice.
Again, I like Arizona. I do like Arizona, but in this game, Green Bay, that's arguably one of the hardest places to play. Lambeau, it's not cold, so that's good for Arizona. But Arizona's got to prove to me that they can be relied upon to go on the road and get a win. Again, they're all over the place. They're a very talented team. Kyler has flashes of brilliance, but they're still 2-3. Green Bay has not looked good, and it's 3-2. Give me the Packers at home. I think Jordan Love is he's going to start this week. He'll be a little bit healthier. Give me the Packers at home. Stay away from the game, people, because Arizona is a live dog. But give me the Packers at home. If gun to the head, give me the Packers. Anyway, we move on to the next game. Indianapolis Colts visit the Tennessee Titans. Everybody's picking the Colts, Phil. The line on that game is real quick.
It's got to be close, man, because this game is, to me,
Titans are getting 2.5 at home. They're the home dog by 2.5 points.
I was looking at this when I was staring at it, trying to figure out, okay, this offense does this. Okay, Will Levis is looking a little bit better. He's making some NFL throws. I like that running game in Tennessee. Again, they're the home. I like what the Colts are doing on both quarterbacks. You got Richardson that can move the ball. He's kind of like that anomaly Teddy Bridgewater type of guy where you're like, oh, he's pretty good, but you can't like fart near him or he gets a concussion somehow. But their backup, Joe Flacco, man, older than dirt, but still doing his thing in the NFL. Doesn't matter which team he's going to. He's doing really, really well. So I got to go with the Colts just alone on the quarterback and being able to lead their team. I think that's the difference between these two teams.
Yeah, give me the Titans at home. 1-3 Titans. Everybody's picking the Colts, but this is a game where I don't think the Colts are as good as advertised. And with the backup quarterback, I think age finally catches up to Flacco. Tennessee's not the easiest place to play. Give me the Titans at home. Do we know if Bo Callahan, aka Will Levis, is playing? I believe he is. So,
yeah, I believe so.
Give me the Titans. Give me Tony Pollard. Give me what's his name?
Tajay Spears.
Yeah, well, Spears and the wide receiver that
Hopkins.
Everybody wanted Hopkins. Yeah, give me that. Give me the Titans at home. I think if I have to pick this game, ugly game again, another game I would want no part of gambling wise, but.
Yeah, I know this one's one of those games that are like,
yeah, no, yeah, absolutely not. Give me the Titans though.
Yeah,
and Richardson is out, so
okay. So Flacco's officially your starter.
I believe so. Wow, what's going on here? Hold up, I'm sorry. Fumble. Oregon scored a touchdown, and
they got the ball back.
Missed a 2-point conversion. Looks like they got
because they don't trust
back.
their kicker right now because they just missed the extra point and they missed the
Lord of
field
mercy.
goal. I think they just got that onside kick.
Yes, they did. Wow, bang. Anyway, all right, moving along.
Sorry, man.
1 o'clock matchup.
Ooh, something shiny.
The Houston Texans visit the New England Patriots. Drake May makes his NFL debut.
Oh, I like it. I like it. I like Drake May in New England. I think that's going to be a good future quarterback. As of right now, it's going to be some growing pains. Could this be one of probably the worst teams? There's probably like 4 or 5 teams that you could have like not started against and been pretty good. But this is unfortunately one of those teams where it could get out of hand because you're not going to get any chances for growing pains within this Texans team. I got to take Houston on this, and I don't think it's going to be close.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Houston Texans are starting to pick up the pace a little bit, the steam. They're not playing as great as people think, but they're 4-1. I think they moved to 5-1.
They're definitely playing worse recently than they did at the beginning.
Yeah, I just think they're not as good as people think, but they're good enough to go to New England and win. It's not cold. It's going to be beautiful out. Drake May is going to see that defense.
Ultra, that's pretty good.
Maybe throw a pick six.
Pretty good idea. That would be smart of them.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next 1 o'clock game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I didn't say the line on that last game, but I don't think it really cares.
Really matters.
This game, Tampa Bay 3-2 visit the New Orleans Saints. The line on this game is the Saints plus 3.5. Why, you ask? Well, that is because that their starting quarterback is out. He's out with a hip flexor.
Who's this?
Or something. New Orleans Saints' quarterback is out. The guy who
Derek Carr? Or are you talking about Tatum Hill?
Derek Carr ran it up on our ass.
Yeah.
So, and Tampa Bay.
I know their tight end / quarterback is out. I didn't know.
Yeah. Taysom Hill is also out. So, who do you like, man?
Why? I did not know that their quarterback was their starting quarterback was out for Derek Carr and everything, and Tatum Hill, their backup basically. Who's it? Jameis Winston.
Defense.
Are we gonna have Jameis Winston in there? Is that who? That's who playing? Who's the backup on that? Now that one's got me going now.
No, it's Spencer Rattler, I think.
I thought he was a free agent because I know he was hanging with the Cowboys just recently. Is that the case, guys?
It's Rattler.
Is that Rattler? Oh man,
where's Jameis Winston? He's not in New Orleans still, is he?
I thought he was in New Orleans, but maybe I could be totally wrong about that. I thought he was the backup quarterback.
Jacob says they're going to play. I did see they're starting Rattler, but where the hell is Jameis? That's interesting. Browns. Yes.
Oh, he went to the Browns. That's right. Okay,
yeah.
That makes
I didn't think he was still with New Orleans.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So I mean, I was gonna go with this.
I messed him up.
Yeah, I did. I was going with the Saints in this one.
Virus, where the hell you been, bro?
Going home, everything like that. I think I got to switch it over to Tampa, even though it's one game. He may come in, all of a sudden just tear it up. They may keep it up, but I got to go Tampa in this matchup. Then,
hey, Aaron, how are you?
Man, but again, you don't know what's going to happen. I wouldn't bet on this game at all. All of a sudden, the Saints could look amazing with him
it's
for one
one,
game,
but...
at least for one game, because again, nobody knows how he's going to come in and play.
Yeah. Give me the Bucks. Baker Mayfield, they blew it last week.
Dude,
they're a hot and cold league, but I think Tampa goes in. Tampa always plays good in New Orleans. I think Tampa goes and wins the game. It is what it is. Unfortunately, Derek Carr is out. Spencer Rattler's got to go up against Tampa's defense. I think that's going to be a tough day for the guy. So that's what I would go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Rashad White is out. I believe I'm the only one that has, I just found out he's out, so I lost my running back. But it is what it is.
I love cornerbacks that do that. I don't know. You saw the Ohio State corner talk trash, and then the other guy talk trash. And you go, Why? Why did he say that? I don't know why he said that.
What's he doing up there?
Why would he say that?
We got it. Next game, we might as well get right to it. We got our Eagle fans in the chat. I appreciate you guys. The Cleveland Browns visit the Philadelphia Eagles.
Watch, this is the time that
thanks,
Cleveland,
West Virginia.
that Cleveland actually. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That Cleveland actually turns it on, but until they actually do, I gotta go.
By the way,
I gotta go. Eagles favorite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't see it any other way. I mean, again, it's. I think if the Eagles shoot themselves in the foot, maybe.
Well, I could see a way the Eagles lose, but it would have to be an epic collapse. You would think after.
Oh, is that what it was? He spit in the face. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I would think after a bye. I expect the Eagles to roll tomorrow. I will be streaming the game. I'll make it a channel member if anybody wants to come in and hang out. But I expect the Eagles to roll. Now, that being said,
I do too.
We shall see. Because
is AJ back?
Is a joke.
Let me ask: is AJ back? Is Devontae Smith back? I saw they were practicing.
They're all back. Everybody's back.
So I can put him back in my fantasy.
Here's the problem. Okay, we got a problem between the coach, Dracula.
I want to talk trash.
And it's an absolute joke. Blue Virus, hello, of a channel.
You better
hell
make
of a
this
channel,
field
you
goal.
guys. You guys are kicking some ass. Keep up the great work.
Yeah.
Virus, make sure you stop in tomorrow.
These are for all you guys. I appreciate
Insert
it.
cash or select payment type.
Reminds me of Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yes, definitely. Shout out
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
I believe the Eagles should win, but they are a mess everywhere because they benched Avante.
But when you look at the two, which one's is more of a mess?
Oh, absolutely, Cleveland. I was wrong.
Cleveland
I expect
Drew is right
to
about
be
that
better.
one. Drew is right about that one. Drew is woo.
Yeah, he's right.
Occasionally.
Listen, Drew. I'm not, I'm trying to be positive for you guys, but if they do not win,
I saw a video.
By a rather large margin, that's an issue because what's going on between Nick Sirianni and Jalen is an absolute joke. They're getting lambasted locally, and I haven't done any videos on it. I'm trying.
Dude,
to
I would just take Watson out. Like.
Watson's a problem, but he makes too much damn money. Yeah. He needs to get his head out of his ass. But hey, I don't think it's going to happen this week. Kind of like what we're walking into, unfortunately. We're walking into a hornet's nest, like a team that's been on a bye, Cleveland's a mess. They just are a mess. So I expect Eagles to roll. We'll leave it at that, and. Let's see what happens. But now,
I did see a video of nearby in one of these cities nearby that somebody was stuck, and then as soon as they were videotaping, all of a sudden a gator came out of nowhere and started biting their wheel. I was like, oh, here we go. It's gonna be one of those type of hurricanes, So if you feel like I had like a little meme that would come up and say, if a dolphin knocks on your door, do not answer. That's how hurricanes get you to come outside. It's very interesting, man. We here, we didn't even lose power. I think it was in the middle of the night. All of a sudden, it was like it kept flickering on here or there. Lost internet for that day. So we were very fortunate. I don't know how Mike was, because I know he's more up in that Tampa area. Luckily, where I was talking about with a lot of our family was that it was going to hit south of Tampa, and I saw that away. And kind of exactly what happened, and Tampa got very, very lucky because it was north of Tampa. The surges would have been even crazier. So unfortunately, there's a lot of people that I know that got the floods. But people survived. I think that's a big thing compared to the other hurricane that went through that took a lot more lives. So people didn't. It did slow down, and
talk to Tag. He's okay.
It did slow down quite a bit. So, but people didn't mess around, man. Those interstates were busy. People were getting the heck out of here. So, I give them credit for that.
Yeah.
So continue on. Sorry about that. I don't want to bring
scary. No. You're good, man. Yeah. So I expect the Eagles to roll, but if not, then that's an issue because there's a lot of fake shit coming out with Sirianni and Hurts trying to be fake. Listen, you don't have to like each other to respect each other. I'll just leave it at that.
Damn right.
I mean, I don't need them to be buddies and kumbaya.
Yeah,
just go play football.
Don't sing karaoke together. We're not asking for that. We're just.
I mean, the media here is just like grilling everybody regarding their relationship, and
they don't take very much for them, man. It's just they don't take very much for them to
very
start.
High. Again, there's a big market here, and they have they expect a lot. I mean, again, we'll see, man. I mean, but I expect them to roll. Moving on, we got Washington visiting. This is a big one, people. Washington Commanders are getting all the love these days, and rightly so. But this is a test. They visit the Baltimore Ravens. Washington is leading the division at 4-1. They're better than I thought they would be at this early stage. I still think that.
I mean, it doesn't bother me.
I don't believe they're as good as what people think, but they are the best right now.
I think if you're
Ravens at home,
if you're a Washington fan, you got to get excited about it. I mean,
yes,
obviously, I totally get it. You got a young guy. So to me, he can only get better. He's not going to get worse, I don't think. I mean, unless somehow this coaching staff really F's him up. But this is not Cleveland. This isn't, the old Detroit teams where quarterbacks go to die kind of situation. Tampa Bay sometimes. That's how they were for a while. So I think right now it's a really good environment because you got a new ownership. You got, you need new stuff as well as, like the stadium and things like that, but those will come later. It's a young team, man. They're hyped around their young quarterback. Their defense is feeling really good. A lot of their defense is older. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's I got an older defense in there, but they're keeping them in game. So Dan Quinn, got to give him props for that. But when it comes to this matchup, I think this is a really big matchup for them. Good test for them to see where they're at against a team on the AFC side. Because let's be real, man. We all know the AFC is really kind of where it's stacked, right? Where your teams have been winning Super Bowls and things. So, we were building our team to compete against San Francisco when San Francisco wasn't even winning Super Bowls. So what does that say about us, right? So when it comes to this matchup,
Ravens are just real quick. Ravens are 6.5 to 7.
Point
depending
favorite?
on what casino.
I think Washington's playing very well.
Touchdown favorite,
so I think Washington can win this game. Me
too.
They can win it. But I think Baltimore will in the end. Right now, Baltimore is playing a little bit better. They're on a little streak. Their defense is kind of complementing their offense. Their offense isn't totally giving the game away all the time like they were before. So I got to go Baltimore on here. But again, would not surprise me if Washington won this game.
Here's the deal. Washington's offense is great, but their defense, I know everybody's talking about their defense, but it hasn't been great. Their linebackers are good, but again,
the linebackers are really good. I love Wagner. Damn Wagner.
Yeah, I expect the Ravens to win this game. Now, if the Ravens lose this game, nobody's catching the Washington. That tells me they are for real. But I don't think they go into Baltimore and win.
Yeah, but there's ways that but Baltimore, I think Baltimore is capable of very much losing games on their own. You've seen that through the past their past couple of games that they've had. They, in the beginning they were giving it away in the fourth quarter. These are very close games. So, yes, they can give it. They can lose to almost anybody, but when they're on their game, they're very hard to beat. So,
yeah. Next game. We move to the 4:05 starts, the first of a few 4:00 games. Los Angeles Chargers, the 2-2 Chargers, visit the 3-2 Denver Broncos. It's a 52% of the betting public are taking the Chargers.
That feels like me.
Over the Broncos.
That is what I picked. That's my gut feeling right now. 52% of me thinks that the Chargers are going to win, and 48% of me says the Broncos. And the only reason why the 48% says it, because he's got an Oregon Duck quarterback, and I got to root for my boy. Their offense is kind of getting on a rhythm, man. You see the bickering. You know, you got a quarterback that's not afraid to stand up to Sean Payton, where you got, you know, Wilson was like, I don't know if I was, you know, Sean Payton needs to be tested sometimes, man. And you got Bo Nix on the sideline getting into it with his coach as a rookie. So to me, it says that he is definitely their guy that they've been looking for quite a long time. You got to stick with it. Let them continue. I do like Denver and what they're doing. They got a good winning record, but when I go to the matchups and everything, I think the Chargers just have an advantage on a lot of areas. So I think the Chargers, just by a little bit, though. Just by a little bit.
Broncos are a 3-point underdog at home, so I could see where you're going with that. Give me Bo Nix and the home team. Denver's a tough place to play. I think the Chargers, not sure where they sit with Joe Alt, but yeah, give me the home team. Give me the Broncos to win by a field goal. I think the Broncos, tough place to play against a Chargers team that hasn't really been lighting it up. So I'll go Broncos. We'll go head to head on that one. Give me the Broncos. Give me Sean Payton to go to 4-2.
I was gonna go with Harbaugh. I can't see Harbaugh.
Yeah, you want khakis to win. Yeah, I know.
Khakis.
Next matchup is arguably my hardest game to pick of the week. Pittsburgh Steelers. They're 90% of the betting public is taking the Steelers. It makes no sense to me.
That's where I jumped on.
Visiting the Raiders.
The Steelers just let a disappointing game get away from them. I think they'll come back out a little bit more motivated against a team that's can struggle, man. Let's be real. Raiders don't look great, but then again, they can turn it all of a sudden and beat you and kind of disappoint your season. So, if there's a point to be the spoiler, I think that's where they come in a little bit stronger. But right now, it's not that time. It's too early in the season. I got to go Pittsburgh. I just think they have a lot more talent on offense where, you got a wide receiver there that doesn't want to play for you because he doesn't even believe in your quarterback that's there. So, I think there's a lot of turmoil there that needs to be, just be real. It needs to be all ironed out before this team becomes a football team, and it's not going to be there with Antonio Pierce as the coach. Let's be real.
I think what Dallas did to the Steelers last week, everybody was talking about the 3-1 Steelers and the number one rush defense, and I think that laid out a blueprint. It seems like teams that played. It seems like teams that play Dallas. I mean, New Orleans hasn't won a game since beating Dallas. So I think the blueprint has been laid out. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Russell Wilson in this game. I think the Raiders win at home. I think they actually win at home. I believe Gardner Minshew lights their ass up. Just my opinion. I just have a weird feeling about the Raiders. Everybody's kind of writing them off. Give me the Raiders, especially give me the field goal. If you can get that hook, I don't see a hook here. So, we'll see. But give me the 3 points, especially, and give me the Raiders.
That's the truth, Drew. That's very much true. They would be a very legit contender if they had their quarterback situation figured out. It's neither one of those guys on that team.
O'Connell's a quarterback. All right, give me the Steelers. No, I'm joking.
His sophomore year. He may play better, man. He may play better.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Chris, for the intel. Moving along, we're gonna skip over the Dallas game and save that for the last. Let's move on to the Atlanta Falcons. 3-2 Atlanta Falcons playing really well, playing the 1-4 in Carolina Panthers. Just real quick, the line is the Falcons are a 6-point favorite, road favorite. So that's a big favorite. I know where you're going.
I've been hype. I've been on that hype train all year, even when they played sorry as hell in the beginning. I'm gonna go with Atlanta. I like what Atlanta has built. they have stars. Those stars just need to just produce. You got Robinson that just not living up to the draft pick that he's been brought up to, even though he has potential. You can see it in the runs. They're getting those lanes open for him. He needs to do a better job running. He reminds me a lot of Rico with what Bryan says, in the sense that he just seems to be going down a lot of the times in the first tackle. So I need to see more improvement. Got Kyle Pitts. He's off and on. He looks flashes, and
Kyle
then all
Pitts
of a sudden
is coming on.
He is.
Cowboys guy. He's coming on.
And so this year, definitely looking a little bit better, where he was like half. Now, it's more 75-80% of the time he's making those catches and stuff. So definitely living up now to that pick. So I love the weapons that they have on offense. You got Cousins back there looking like an old man that's been through surgery. Like, okay, I'll throw it to you, but I don't want to move. And he's doing it. Somehow he's doing it. I got to go with Atlanta a little bit hotter. I do like the fact that, at least with Bryce Young out and Andy Dalton in, Panthers, I feel, have more of a chance now going forward, unfortunately. But I got to go Atlanta in this matchup. I just think they're hotter.
Very cool. Very, very cool. I'm going to go Falcons. This isn't even close. Carolina Panthers stink. Sorry. I think this might be a closer game than
they do. That's why I said they're going to be picking first for a bit.
Yeah, again, they're going to be getting Shedeur Sanders probably, or somebody like that. Whoever they want, they'll get. But I'm not going to bet against Atlanta. I think this is a closer game than people think, but Atlanta wins. Just hands down. Now, this next game, I've been flip-flopping back and forth.
Yes, I agree with you.
But I just switched my pick again, so don't bet on this one, people. Cincinnati Bengals visit the New York Giants. The line on this game is the Giants are getting 3.5. Devin Singletary's out. Malik Neighbors is out.
They played
Kayvon
great
Thibodeau
without Neighbors
is out. Yeah. Yeah, but still.
But not 2 games in a row. I'm sorry, not 2 games in a row.
Yeah. The 1-4 Bengals, mind you, who's desperate need of a win. Your pick.
I got to go with the 1-4 Bengals.
Yeah,
it
definitely.
just Jamar. Let's say, Chase looked amazing last week. He's getting on road, on the same page as his quarterback, and I think that can be scary. Higgins is being involved. I like what they're doing over there. Again, their defense is going to have to keep them in the game, but it's against New York Giants offense with all those guys kind of missing. I think it's going to be a lot easier for them to do it, even if it's in New York. So I got to go Cincinnati in this one, but it might be a close game, actually, even though all signs say that Cincinnati should be able to blow them away. Giants have been keeping their team in there with his defense, even though statistically it hasn't been great. It's still been keeping them close.
Yep, and I originally had the Giants, but I'm not going to keep that pick. They're just...
I hate Chip Kelly too, man. That's why he's going to blow us away to this game. They got so many weapons on that Ohio State team, man. Sorry, go ahead.
No, well, just remember, there was a time where the Eagles called Chip Kelly Chipachek. They did call him like Chip Belichick, and they put the names together. Chipachek, right up until the point where they cut or they traded what's his name?
Yeah. Oh man, Westbrook was no.
Cut on dimes 25.
No.
Who am I thinking of? Who the hell was the running back?
He went to Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
I can't think of his name. He always destroyed us.
Cut on dimes 25. Oh, he destroys Cowboys, and every time he talks about them. But he decided to dismantle the Eagles team. And,
Shady McCoy.
He's not welcome. He's not welcome back to the city of brotherly love anytime soon. Chip Kelly, touchdown, Ohio State. But again, let's go to the Monday night game, and then we'll circle back.
Beautiful throw, brother.
Yeah, it was. Buffalo Bills, the 3-2 Buffalo Bills go into MetLife Stadium to take on the Aaron Rodgers and the Robert Salalis New York Jets.
Because that's what the problem was with the Jets, was obviously the head coach. Man, that head coach could not catch a damn break. Let's be real, man. Like, you have a guy in Aaron Rodgers you bring in, you kind of, you're looking forward to last year, and then all of a sudden the first drive of the game he goes out. You got to deal with the Wilson that just doesn't want to play football. He just wants to get the ball out of his hands. And then he's a defensive guy. I mean, he's relying on offensive weapons to do it, and then you bring Aaron Rodgers in that. Let's be real. Hey, Aaron, can you should probably do this. And he'll look at you, tell you to shut up, and I know more football than you. So, I don't know how much really is it his fault. I love him as a defensive coordinator, but, I saw a lot of problems with Sauce Gardner as well, even though he's I love that corner, but there was problems with him. Wilson dropping. Is that the coach's fault? No, man. That was just a bad connection with him and Aaron for not practicing together. So I see a lot of problems, and it sure as hell wasn't the coaching. So I didn't think they had it together when he was there, and I definitely don't think they're going to have it together now. But again, it could be the interim coach thing. You know how they do that, where you bring an interim coach in and all of a sudden they turn it on. Statistically, though, if you've done it this early in the season, those teams don't tend to go to the playoffs. So that they're going to go up an uphill battle from here, and I say Buffalo kind of destroys them. Even though they could probably hang in the beginning part, but I think Buffalo destroys them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that the Jets are in trouble. I think Aaron Rodgers is not looking good. They didn't even make Hackett the head coach or in charge of the. I don't know what they're doing in New York. I don't know. I
don't think they know what they're doing.
This is a bad look on Aaron Rodgers. But I think Buffalo is just a better football team. So I think Buffalo goes to 4-2. And just a line on that game real quick. The Buffalo Bills are a 2.5-point favorite
which is crazy.
That's not enough for me.
I mean, you got to take it. Yeah, you got to take it.
Yeah.
And you're right, definitely. Vinny. He does. He looks off. There's off throws. You even got an all-pro like Tyron Smith that's not blocking correctly. I mean, that says a lot.
Yep. Absolutely. So there it is, man. We have covered all the. Oh wait, we have one game left. Please put your final score predictions for the Detroit Lions versus the Cowboys in the chat. Please put your. I love it, Brad. I'm loving it. I'm rooting for you. But please put your Cowboy
predictions in
Lion. Yeah, in the chat. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat, looking at your graphics, getting mesmerized. I'm getting dizzy. Everybody, Phil, what do you think about this game, brother? What are you thinking?
I'm feeling a lot more confident than I did last week. I feel like, hey, how are they going to play with the starters being out? I feel like this defense played better than when they were in. More people knew that they had to do their assignment, and they couldn't rely on the stars to just make plays. I can go through and tell you how I love our offensive line play. I love Jalen Tolbert coming out and doing it. I want to see Jalen Tolbert do it consistently. Until I see that happen, I can't crown him with anything yet. See, Twiz goes there. You got to put the line with them, man, so that way we can see it together. But anyways, when I look at this, I need our offense to do more. This is one of those games where we talked about that this offense is going to need to lead the way. Just like this offense is a pass to set up the run, well, I need you to score to set up the defense, because that defense is going to need help, because there's a lot of weapons on that Detroit team. I think it's too much weapons, because at some point, even if you're playing lights out in the beginning, at some point, just like our offense, even if it's playing sluggish, the offense eventually wakes up. The second half comes awake, and then all of a sudden they can destroy you. I just don't like the matchups when you go across the board. I love Diggs. I love all these guys on some of those matchups, but when you look into the deep matchups, the underneath and things like that, when you get past Jordan Lewis, it gets very scarce for our offense against that tight ends, things like that. So unfortunately, I don't like where this game is going to go by the end of it, and I feel like we're going to lose by at least 2 touchdowns. And I look at a score of Detroit 34, Dallas 20, and again, nothing to be ashamed of in that sense. It's just how they play. You're going to get frustrated with this team. But I would have them losing this even if we were playing good football, just because I think Detroit is a tough team, and they're going to have to face each other in the playoffs, and I'd rather be going into that matchup with the thought of, hey, we lost that one, instead of, oh no, we got this in the bank. We already beat this team before. So unfortunately, I know, boo me all you want, but I want them to prove me wrong. 2 weeks in a row, I'm not going to give it to you because you take Pittsburgh and you handle them. Well, guess what? This is a way more powerful offense, and to me, out of the NFC side, this is the most potent offense through all of the teams. So if you can slow them down, if you can stay in this game, that says a lot about what this team can be for the future when your stars are back. So unfortunately, I hate to side with them, but
don't apologize because they're the underdog in the game. Okay, I agree, and with a lot of people,
but I still feel good. I still feel good.
3.5. It's not even 3. There's a hook out there. Again, it's a tough spot for the Cowboys, Phil. I believe there is a way we can win the game, and this goes back to what I said at the beginning of last week, which really didn't happen, yet they won anyway. They won in a way that I didn't think they could win. They went on the road and ran the ball and dominated the time of possession in Pittsburgh in a bad weather game against the number 1 rushing defense. And that was impressive. But if you're going to win this game, you're going to have to get near 40 points to win. I love the scores I'm seeing. Let me reiterate. I do believe there is a way we can win the game.
I agree.
It's a Dak Prescott game.
Yes.
It's definitely a Dak Prescott game. You got to get up a couple scores early. A lot of weird things happen.
We need turnovers.
Get up a couple scores, right? And then make Jared Goff have to deviate a little bit. When they're sitting there up 10 points and it's run, 3rd and 1, play action, bomb, then you're in trouble. But if we should get ahead, then that's exact way we could win, exactly like everybody's saying in the chat. But let me just read off a few things. Bland is out, which I'm kind of disappointed in. Yeah. Probably smart.
I like it. Even though I hate it, I like it.
But I just hope he didn't have a setback yesterday.
No, I don't think that's what it is. I think if people saw him on that thing, I think people jump to conclusions. That's the problem with our fan base.
Yeah, but when the owner comes out and says he's back, saying he's going to play limited snaps, then that's why people were excited. Now, Michael Kendricks is out. Dallas is elevated.
Eric
Darius
Kendricks,
Harris.
I like Harris.
Harris is elevated, and he's got the green dot.
Yeah, I love Harris. Yeah, no, and I know a lot of people are saying that, but I actually like this kid. I've seen some of his film, and I think he reads very well.
I'm not saying it's not
to give him the green dot is wow to me, because there's a lot of guys on this defense that already, Clark. There's some guys that you could have easily pointed, given it to, that you're not going to question it.
Exactly,
Overshown,
Vinny, exactly.
But Harris, that says a lot. But looking back on his career, I like his style of play.
Yeah. Look,
I think this is a hidden gem.
Diggs, Oruwariye, Lewis. Carson.
Yeah, that one. I love Oruwariye.
I'll be curious to see who the fifth guy's going to be. Touchdown Oregon. Bit. Bang, bang. What a game. What a game.
What a conference. What a conference now. Let's be real.
Yes. Now, real quick, Dallas has won. Everybody's making a big deal of last year, the month, that Dan Campbell, he's
quit going for it on 4th down. God damn it.
Again, we covered the guy that the ref said was eligible. That's all you need to know. The refs went to the Dallas sideline and then announced who was eligible. Dallas covered that said offensive lineman. So all this other shit is just what it is. BS. Dallas has won the last 6 meetings against Detroit, Phil. We own Detroit, but
even when we're not playing good. Even when we're not playing good.
Again, without our number 2 receiver, which I think is less of an impact than I might have thought, without our top 4 defensive ends, without our leading tackler on the football team, Eric Kendricks, who's, if you just look at the stat sheet, without our defensive tackle, I think it's a tough spot for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, in saying that, that would mean that Dallas is going to start out the year 0-3 at home. I'm doing a favor to everybody here. I think Dallas actually gets up I think Dallas actually gets up on the Lions and maybe by 10 points. I really do. But then I think in the second half, after the adjustments are made, I think the Lions take advantage. I think there's only so much we could do.
That's what I agree. I agree with you right there. Even if we're close into it.
I think Dallas somehow gets up and we're like, oh my God. But so far, the adjustments in the second half, albeit with a limited football team, have been detrimental to the Cowboys.
I agree.
Just look at CeeDee Lamb's touches in the second half. They're non-existent. Now, again, I reiterate, people, that we can win the game. Ultra is right. I believe a lot of people are right.
No, we're not firing Zimmer.
Dallas can win the game, but I'm not going to pick Dallas because I honestly feel less about this game than I did last week going into Pittsburgh, and we saw how close that one was. So I think Dallas is up, and they lose late. I think it's a high-scoring game, people. I think Dallas Cowboys, 34. Lions win, 37-34. Cowboys take the 3.5 if you can get the hook, and over the 52.5. 37-34 Lions, but I do believe Dallas can win the game, but they have to score 38 points. And that's why if anybody has 38 points,
have we scored 30-something points this year? I mean, to be real, other than the beginning, we did it the first week, right?
Yeah.
I mean, was that a little bit of help with our defense?
Go. What about the phantom tripping call when Aiden Hutchinson did the tripping? What about your 27th ranked defensive passing defense? What about that, Lord Asian? That's the bottom line. There was a lot of in there
that wasn't called on both sides. So it wasn't just the one, man. There was a lot that we could point out to.
The Lions are playing soft, Phil.
Yeah.
They're a soft team this year. Okay.
Oh, I don't
we can run the ball.
Last year, I definitely think of them as more of a physical team than they are. I just
They're
feel
not as good as they were last year.
We just have
right now.
way too many stars out. We have way
too
many starters. I think that's the problem. I mean, a lot of people, like I had a friend and he's a big Detroit fan. He's like, oh, this week we got you. I go, yeah, I think you guys are going to win. He was very confused. I was like, he's like, well, what? Like, I go, yeah, we have like 4 guys on injured reserve. We have like another 5 guys out in injury, like starters, and we're just very decimated right now. He's like, oh, I didn't know that. I was all like, yeah, man. All our defensive ends are all 4 of them are starters, and then our star backups, they're all gone right now. So yeah, that
exactly.
Says a lot.
Ultra. They have nobody out. They get Ragnow back at center. Lord Asian, there's no excuses, bro. If Dallas beats that ass tomorrow, then there's no excuses. I think there's a real possibility Dallas can win. I just think it's a tough spot, man.
Yeah.
I just think it's a tough spot.
It's a good talent that you're relying on guys that we haven't seen enough
really
film
sucks.
on. Yeah.
It just sucks. But before we go, I do want to do a quick drawing. I put all the names of your super chats in my cup. I'm going to give away a shirt to somebody in this chat. So I'm going to do a drawing before we get out of here. Just let me know when you're ready, Phil. I'll do it.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Do your thing.
You would do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're going to do a drawing right now.
I wish I had a drum roll for you. I don't have that.
I put a bunch of names in here. So
like random names? You just like
yeah, I did random names.
It's like I don't even know if anybody.
What do you know? Here we go. Vinny Hagen is the winner. The birthday boy.
The birthday
Vinny
boy.
Hagen is the winner of a T-shirt. Bang, bang, Vinny. Congratulations, my buddy. Congratulations, Vinny.
I don't think that was staged at all. No, I'm just messing.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I had to take care of my guy. Come on. I had to take care of
Congratulations. Congratulations.
I'm going to put, hey, Vinny, I'm going to put my email in the chat, right? So email me your shirt size and your address, and I'll get it out to you Tuesday morning. Don't forget, everybody. Monday's a holiday. No mail delivery. So, but here, I'm going to put it in the chat.
He's like, Brian's like, remember, I got a day off on Monday. Don't forget that. No, congratulations, Vinny. Definitely, and happy birthday.
Gametime, Bryan at gmail.com. Email me your address and your shirt size. It will be out Tuesday morning when I go back to the hellhole, otherwise known as the post office, day after holiday. Twice as much mail, twice as much heartache. Let's go, baby. But anyway, yeah, I thought that would have been fun. But yeah, that's it, man. I like some of the scores, Phil. If we can get to that 38-point mark, Dallas wins the game.
Yeah, I mean, they could
But,
turn it on all of a sudden. They have the capability of doing it. You stay out of your own way. They haven't done it.
That's the thing.
That's the reason why we take our stance the way we are. They've proven us wrong before, and I love when they do. But anyways, you're going to be on your channel doing the broadcast tomorrow.
Yeah, 1 o'clock. I'm going to do the Eagle game. Like I said, I expect a big game. I'm going to make it a channel member Zoom. And then I didn't know what you wanted to do, Phil. I know we do a show Monday, but I will not be streaming during the Cowboy game. That way everybody can watch it at their own speed and time because we're all on a different timetable. Yeah. And I will go live immediately following the game. So we'll go live tomorrow roughly around 7:30. So, nice. And that's what we'll do. Phil's more than welcome to take part. I do ask that before anybody logs in, give me a good 15 minutes to do my breakdown, and Phil wants to join me of the game, and then you guys can zoom in and we'll rip them or congratulate them. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, hold on, sorry. Ooh, there we go. That coffee coming back.
Ooh, really hot in them rhinos.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Bryan, I appreciate you coming on. Keeping it real, man. We definitely got to. This is our reputation in the sense of we call it how we see it, man. We're not going to try to pout or anything. Last year we had those moments where we picked against them, and then they did amazingly well.
Say it, Chris.
And there's been times where we picked them and they did amazingly bad. So I'm ready to see what kind of Cowboys team this is. Again, there's a lot of growing pains this season with this very young team. Leadership in the right spots, but still they need to be led correctly. And when you're shooting yourselves in the foot, that's what gets bad teams, undisciplined team. And I think that's what we've been seeing a lot. If they can stay out of their own way, they can be in any game. I just think a lot of this talent with our own stupidity sometimes can get in our own way. But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully the next time we are on here, we're talking about a victory. We're talking about how we were totally wrong about this game and how Dak Prescott led this team. I do like how he's been playing recently. Just even though he's had those turnovers, he did drive this team down when it really, really counted. So let's see what he does in this game with a lot better of a defense too. So Bryan, anything you want to say to the folks before we get out of here?
Not much. Enjoy the games. Like I said, enjoy the games. I'll be on at 1 o'clock. But again, we're obviously rooting for the Cowboys. That's a tough spot, man. There's no excuses. I'm not here to be, play both sides of the fence. No. I've already said if we can get to 38 points, I think we can win. That would be a very, very, very impressive game. I think if we can keep it within a field goal, that would be unbelievable.
That would be.
I'm sorry, but that's just a fact. You can only do so much. I think they left a lot out there on the field on, Sunday night?
They did.
I think it's a tough spot. I do. But we'll see, man. This team has surprised me. So, and not so much in record, but in how they've responded with all the injuries and counting on young people. We won at the end of a game with Jalen Tolbert, for crying out loud. We had Rico Dowdle average 4.4 yards a carry against the number 1 rush defense. Yeah. That's impressive, people.
Yeah,
let's give them their credit.
Tolbert gets a touchdown.
Yes.
Yeah, he gets a touchdown after busting his nut, so I got to give him credit,
Pause. But yes, that's it, brother. That's it. Thank you for everybody. Make sure you like and share this, please.
I appreciate it a lot. Guys, give us your prediction before the game. Let us know what you think. Again, it could be a lot of one-sided. What did we have on that poll, that ticker? A lot of the America was picking Lions. About 78% of them believe that, and that's how it is.
Most of the people pick the Lions.
Most people, and that's very understandable. But one thing that's very understandable is for you to not forget to do what?
Ring that bell, baby.
You're damn right, guys. You guys take care.
Hey, all right, good job, guys. Let's just not come in tomorrow. Let's just take a day.
Talking prime rib in bed. I'm using a blanket as a napkin. That's fancy. That's fancy.
Real fancy.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
Do you want to go do karate in the garage?
Yup.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I think we handled that with dignity.
Free candy!
Johnny loves Chachi.